something is missing from the Bank of Canada's main webpage. You see, they had this mission statement at the top of the page that was there for 20 years, and it read the following: "We are Canada's central bank. We work to preserve the value of money by keeping inflation low and stable." Keeping inflation low and stable. Suddenly, in May, only a few weeks after the last election, that mission completely changed and now reads, "More than a bank, we are the Central Bank of Canada." Period. That's it. No mention of low and stable inflation to preserve the purchasing power of your money. Well, isn't that convenient? Only a few weeks after Mark Carney is elected Prime Minister, suddenly the bank is not concerned with inflation. This, as the core inflation rate now is 3%. That's more than halfway above the 2% target, and it's rising quickly. And now we have Mark Carney nearly doubling Justin Trudeau's deficit, which means that the government will probably want to start printing money. That will be nothing new for Carney. He printed money like crazy when he was the governor of the Bank of England, causing a massive inflation crisis in that country and leaving behind a housing crisis that has shut British youth out of homes. Now he brings that same inflationist ideology back to Canada. Since he became Prime Minister, government spending has risen by 8% above the Trudeau levels that were left behind. This is nothing new for the Liberals, as while Carney was Trudeau's economic advisor, the money supply grew by almost 100%, while the real economy only grew by 18%. In other words, the cash grew 5 times faster than the stuff that cash buys. And now we see the government getting even bigger and more expensive, and suddenly and inexplicably, the Bank of Canada removes from its headline mission statement the goal of keeping inflation low and stable. Now, maybe it's nothing. Maybe somebody who was junior at the bank suddenly got the keys to the website and went in and just removed those little details about low and stable inflation. But I doubt it. This is not just any section of the website. It is right at the top of the page, where it has been for 20 long years. But the consequence for you, if you're not an owner of Brookfield, is that the price of everything will go up. Your food, clothing, shelter, housing, everything becomes more expensive. That's why we have 2 million people lined up at food banks. It's why mothers put water in their children's milk to dilute it so that it lasts longer. It's why 35-year-olds are living in their parents' basements after a decade of Liberals. It is why everywhere you turn, the price of everything seems to go up. In reality, it's not that costs are increasing, it's that the purchasing power of your money is falling. And I believe, with Mark Carney taking even more spending on than his predecessor, and with his forthcoming irresponsible spending binge appearing in the budget, you are again going to face the same inflation, or worse, than came under the earlier years of the Liberals while he was the economic advisor. Well, Conservatives will fight back. We will restate that the only mandate the bank should be focused on is low inflation, to preserve the purchasing power of your money. To do that, we need to cut back on bureaucracy, consultants, foreign aid, handouts to phony refugees, corporate welfare, and other waste that is raging out of control under this government. Expect us to return to Parliament with a strong focus on more powerful take-home pay for you and your families. And of course, that includes 3 things: creating jobs that will give you bigger paychecks. Second, cutting taxes so that you keep more of the paycheck. And third, preserving the purchasing power of the dollars you earn on those paychecks. That is our mission. We must have sound money, balanced budgets, fiscal responsibility. That is the only way that hardworking Canadians can regain control of their lives, own homes, start families, improve their lives, and get ahead based on their hard work. That is my mission, and that is what Conservatives will be fighting to achieve in this fall session of Parliament.